after Mr. Bloom took full control over Batman's mech suit, he forced it to grab him by the neck and choke the life out of him, until getting even more brutal by commanding it to launch him into the air with so much strength that he went flying through the roof of the building, headed towards blades of a local news chopper. So with an extremely fast pounding heart, Jim was forced to think quicker than he ever thought before, immediately pulling a hook line out of his suit to begin heading back to the warehouse by using it to pierce through the roof. And while he had hoped for something soft like flowers to help break his fall, the only things waiting to greet him were crates of Bloom's power seeds. Thankfully, they were just soft enough to keep him alive though. But moments later, the injuries he obtained became the least of his worries, because once again his suit started speeding his way to try slamming him onto the floor. This left Jim with no other choice than to latch onto one of the missile gates on the suit's shoulder so he could use the contractors in his gloves to force the suit to self-implode. He then picked the helmet up off the floor, trying to neutralize Bloom's unnatural capabilities by initiating the blocker, but just moments later he was caught off guard when Bloom crushed him onto the ground after altering the size of his foot, before stating that Jim had no idea what he was up against and that soon the entire city of Gotham would be regrown with brand new seeds. But while gesturing Bloom to look at his pile of seeds, Jim assured him that that wouldn't be the case, indicating that when he crashed back into the warehouse earlier, he ignited a silent charge that completely destroyed them. So even if Bloom killed him right now, he wouldn't care, because at least he'd go down knowing that his plans were foiled. And of course Bloom wasn't too happy about this, so he lifted his hand in the air, suggesting he would finally make the killing blow, only for the helmet's power blocker to finally finish activating, which completely neutralized his abilities, allowing Jim to send his body smashing through a nearby window before taking him into custody. Despite things seemingly shifting in a positive direction though, in the midst of being taken to Arkham as Jim tried removing his mask, Bloom expressed that things were about to take a turn because he had already anticipated for something like this to happen, which is when an entire Bloom army arrived onto the scene, pounding through the roof of the Bat truck, sending it crashing off course, and then helping Bloom escape captivity. Bruce, on the other hand, was also fighting a battle of his own after a strange encounter with Duke Thomas. He already expressed feeling empty and like something was missing to his girlfriend Julie, but after seeing a giant bat in Gotham's subway, he was more curious than ever about who he was in the past. So he went to the park where he first awoke after his accident in the caves, which was something he'd been doing frequently lately. But this time he exchanged paths with another man who claimed that he had also been in an accident in the same exact location. But sadly, that's when our issue comes to an end. But if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.